As March Madness begins, we are getting we're inching closer. Let's just say it that way. We're inching closer to West Virginia finally getting their new head basketball coach. It's pretty fair to say that he's more than likely the next coach is coaching in the NCAA tournament. When his team finally loses a game, it probably won't be very long until we know who their guy is. And we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about some recent comments made by Bob Huggins. And we're going to announce our drawing, or not really a drawing, but our contest that we're doing here on the channel, where you can win yourself a little bit of cash with March Madness. My name is Couz.
My name is Mountaineer Paul.
And we present to you another episode of
Hoops from the Hills.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Whether you're joining us on YouTube or on X, we're here for another episode. I see Mo D is in here on X, that he actually likes the Twitter stream better. Well, thank you, Mo. We appreciate you, my man. Thanks. Whether you're watching us on Twitter or YouTube, it doesn't
share that
matter.
out, buddy. Share that out on Twitter.
Absolutely.
I'd like to get that moving a little bit.
Chief Fan says Dusty May should be the number one pick. Well, I got a feeling he's not, but you never know. You never know. He could be. We'll see. But you got
There's
Dusty
a lot of
May.
conflicting reports about that.
There is. It's weird, isn't it? You got some outlets saying that the Rees, whatever his name is number one. You got others saying Byington's number one.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And it could end up being
I'm
somebody else.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I'm. If I had to bet, I would say Byington is third or fourth choice right now. Based on, I mean, I've been obsessed with it. You know, I probably spend 3 or 4 hours a day just pouring over just different things about this. You know, as much info as you can get, and it's slowly leaking out. But finally, you know, you get people who've actually talked to Ren that will say things. Ren has let some info out, so we can at least come to the table with a little bit of that.
Yeah. There's some stuff out there. I mean, I'm hearing from people that it's Byington. I think you've heard the opposite on your side of it. So it's just weird, man. At some point, we're going to find out who's right. You know.
Yeah,
it could even be.
I would bet the house that it's not Byington.
Yeah, Nico Medved is still in the hunt too. I mean, he just had a big win last night over Virginia with Colorado State, holding them to 18 points and a half. Not sure if that was Colorado State being good or Virginia being terrible, but either way, it's a win.
Well, apparently, you know, one big plus about Medved is his brother-in-law is a billionaire, and that comes with him.
Interesting.
Or very rich. He may not be a billionaire, but people are saying that he's trying to leverage that. Along with, you know, hey, hire me. Basically, he's got obviously he was married in Morgantown. That's a big piece of news that people may or may not know about. And he plays like West Virginians like to see ball played. I feel like, or what we're used to.
Right.
Really, really, really good defensive team. I mean, they really stifled an ACC team that had 23 wins. You can say Virginia was bad, but at the end of the day, they played in the ACC and they had 23 wins, and they were top 5 defense KenPom all year. You know, so yeah, and that's, you know, against one of the top 5 best head coaches in the sport. Excuse me. So I feel like Medved made a huge impression on me last night. And then his post-game press conference and stuff, which I sent to Couz last night late, was pretty cool too. You know, he has this cockroach mentality, he likes to call it, never die. You know, and I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's unique too.
Yeah.
But before we get too far along, we have to do something very, very, very important.
Yeah. This episode of Hoops from the Hills is brought to you by Dutch Miller Automotive, where friends and family pricing means you get the best deal right up front on any new or pre-loved vehicle in stock every time.
With brands like Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Kia, Hyundai, Ford, GMC, Buick, and Subaru, the Dutch Miller Automotive family is always growing and ready to put you in the car or truck you've been searching for.
Check out our inventory across West Virginia at DutchMillerAuto.com, or you can come in person today the home of friends and family pricing. Only at a Dutch Miller Automotive store near you. Near you.
Near you and me.
It's near. It's near you. Yeah.
All right.
If you live in West Virginia, it's near you, Bob.
It is. We had a question, and since this is related to the coaching,
that sounds fun, Shaggy. Sorry, I just saw that.
Pizza
Man.
and watching Hoops from the Hills. Thank you, Shaggy. Appreciate you, man. I bet that Hoops from the Hills show. I bet that is entertaining. I've never watched.
It's better. It's better than half. It's a little better than half.
I do watch it. No, I do go back and watch it, but it's weird when it's yourself. You're watching it with. I watch it to critique it. I don't watch it to enjoy it. So it's a little different.
Right. Every now and again, I get a little bit enthralled by that Couz guy. He really knows what he's doing.
I'm saying that they need to kick him off the show, but hey. Somebody asked a question about the Jay thing. What do you think the Jay situation means? New job, new coach coming in, might not want him. Before we give our takes on it, I want to talk. A lot of people may not know what that means, what he's talking about. I'm going to do a quick screen share. I actually did an article on this over on my website, couzescorner.com, if you guys want to go check it out. But right here, Jay Kuntz, who we all know is responsible for the transfer portal for West Virginia, posted a very long message on X last night or yesterday evening. Basically, I read it as a farewell message. But here it says, Jay Kuntz, the Mountaineer assistant who was largely responsible for pulling off 3 strong transfer portal classes in 2 seasons, I threw that in there, took to social media and posted what appears to be a goodbye message to West Virginia fans, players, and staff. The full message can be seen below. Should we read this, Paul, or just let them go read it for themselves? Well, a lot of people may not be on Twitter, so I'm just going to read it. Let's do it.
Just so, yeah.
To the greatest fan base in state, saying goodbye to a place I've called home and to many people I've considered family for the past 16 years is no easy task. West Virginia University and the state of West Virginia hold such a special place in my heart and always will, no matter where this profession leads me and my family. I am so thankful for so many people that this post alone cannot do it justice. But I'd be remiss to not start with the person who gave me my first opportunity as an 18-year-old kid, Coach Huggins. Coach Huggins cared enough to take me under his wing and show me what it truly meant to work. He and his family have meant so much to me throughout my time in Morgantown, and I will be eternally grateful to them for everything. 2 summers ago, Coach Huggins, then Athletic Director Shane Lyons, and now Tarleton State Athletic Director Steve Urias awarded me the opportunity to help direct the transfer portal for the first time in this new era of college basketball. I was extremely fortunate, as I have always been, to work with a talented coaching staff consisting of many previous head coaches and rising stars in the coaching world. With the only one senior returning, Kedrian Johnson, accompanied by 5 underclassmen with little to no experience, we knew this would be no easy task. The initial goal was to return this program to its rightful place in the NCAA tournament. Our program achieved that feat, only a season removed from not reaching the postseason and returning very few contributors. That was all a testament to the coaches and players. As C.S. Lewis said, hardships oftentimes prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny. Navigating through these tumultuous waters this past season tested the will of every employee of Mountaineer basketball. Like many others, I was very fortunate that Coach Allard stepped up and accepted the daunting task of guiding this program through the season. His leadership allowed our staff and players to move forward. Josh, Brandy, and the Allard family taught me what it meant to look adversity in the eyes and make zero excuses, even if the results weren't ultimately what we all hoped. They did it with integrity and class, and Mountaineer fans should commend Coach Allard on everything he did for our program. Next, I thank all the players who donned the Mountaineer uniform. We as a staff are only as good as our players, and I'm incredibly grateful for all the amazing relationships I've had with you guys over the past 16 years. Your hard work, dedication to your craft, and commitment to West Virginia University and its basketball program never went unnoticed or unappreciated. For that, I love you all. Lastly, to the Mountaineer fan base and the people of West Virginia, I am at a loss for words for the first time, which I know will surprise some of you, and I had to chuckle when I read that, because anybody that's ever talked to Jay knows the guy likes to talk. He says, the love and support you provide West Virginia University and its athletics programs are second to none. You are tough but fair, and I wouldn't want it any other way. The grit of the fan base is what truly separates WVU from anyone else, and unless you have been here to experience it, You have no idea what it means when we say our people bleed gold and blue. Thank you for all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Those experiences have shaped me into who I am today, and I'll be better for it in the future. West Virginia basketball has a storied past and a rich history that will continue to make memorable moments for all of us in the future. We are fortunate to have Director Baker at the helm. I say this unequivocally. He will not only make the right hire, but the best hire to lead Mountaineer basketball for years to come. Yours truly, Jay Couz. And I just went on and gave his bio there. I don't need to get into that. You can find that over on the Athletics website. Paul, what are your thoughts on that statement by Jay? And then what do you think that means? Do you think he found another job? Do you think, he's writing on the wall? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, he's out. I mean, they all had until, what was it? The day before yesterday to get their stuff out. Was it day before yesterday?
I don't remember
I think it was day before yesterday or maybe the day before that to be out of the office, everybody. So everybody's been told to leave, and I'm pretty sure the day whenever that was wrote was the day. So, there's a little bit of there's some finality to it. I guess it's probably okay to share now, but we recorded something with Jay and weren't able to share it. And he was extremely gracious to us, because that was something we were looking forward to. And a lot of you guys were looking forward to. It was a great interview. I felt like we did a really good job. And unfortunately, because of some things that had happened, I think it was with Trilly Donovan or something like that. He didn't want to stir the pot, and so we couldn't release the video, guys. So I know a lot of you guys have asked about that over for a couple weeks after that. You guys were asking, so we weren't able to do it, and that was a mutual decision we came to because at the time they weren't winning a lot either. So maybe we'll be able to release that someday with Jay's permission. I think it's something we could ask about. But Couz and I both were able to form a little friendship with him over that, and that lasted. I guess it lasts till today, somewhat. So obviously I'm biased. I think Couz maybe too a little bit because he was so good and to us, and so that hit me hard when he did that. I guess I should say I don't know for a fact what's the next for him. But I do know that there has been some talk from people that would know that they've asked him to maybe stay on, and I think he said no. But I don't know that to be fact, so don't take that and run with it, guys. But I did see somebody that would know that alluded to that. I think probably he's going to wait and see if Coach Huggins gets something and maybe go that route. I think that all those guys will have a job, or most of them will have a job. If Coach Hugs gets another job, possibly, maybe it's Texas San Antonio, maybe it's somewhere else. Who knows? But I do wish him the very best. And whoever the next coach is will have a hard time replacing what Jay Couz was able to do as GM.
Well said. Well said. There's not really much I can add to it. I mean, I think either way, whether he has another opportunity or not, I mean, he was out. He didn't have a job, and he wanted to spill his guts to Mountaineer Nation, and he did that in a pretty. I can imagine he was probably pretty emotional writing that. I think it was emotional to read it, to be honest. So yeah. I can't imagine writing it. You spent 16 years of your life at a place. That don't even count the years he went to school here, I don't think. Or I should not here.
Yeah, he's from here.
WVU.
Yeah, he's from here. He went to school around here.
Yeah, he went to. He's from Connecticut, but yeah, he was a graduate of West Virginia. Got his degree there.
Yeah.
And stayed on. When he graduated, got on with the staff and has been on there ever since. So yeah, I mean, West Virginia's home to him. Has been for 16 plus years, and it's going to be tough for him and his family. But he'll land on his feet. He's good at what he does, and like Paul said, if Hugs finds a job somewhere, I have no doubt he'll probably work for him. And if not, I'm sure he has an agent that's working for him, and I'm sure they'll find him a good landing spot. I wanted to address this comment by Bigfoot. He says, Ren Baker is not going to make the right move or get the best available coach because he won't pay the money. I think Baker should be fired also in this basketball rebuilding process. A couple things I want to say there. First off, Ren Baker is probably going to be a candidate for about every AD job that comes up between now and eternity. Okay, that's how good he is. Two, I don't want to say every basketball coach I've researched that he has hired in his career, every stop he's made has been successful. He's batting darn near 1,000, if not 1,000, on hiring basketball coaches. So for you to say that to me is inaccurate. And I also do think they will pay a coach. Are they going to break the bank and pay somebody $4 or $5 million a year? No, but they don't have to. You can pay $3 to $3.5 million a year for a coach and still be competitive in the Big 12. And you might even be able to get one cheaper than that if you're getting a guy coming up from the G5 who's only making about $1 million a year. $2.5 million a year to them is going to be big money. So there's a financial thing here to this. And there's no reason to pay a coach Bob Huggins money if they haven't had Bob Huggins success yet. That's just bad business, in my opinion. Paul, do you want to say anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much knocked that out of the park. But, I mean, listen, if you go back and look at the hires he's made, Bigfoot, I mean, I'm sure you're coming from a place of passion here. And, listen, we all disagree on stuff. But all the way back to Ben McCollum and before, he has really hired some incredible coaches. He does it. It's a very modern way that he hires people. There is a lot of data that he uses in analytics, which some people don't like. But he also uses that feel. There's a profile that's just for this job. He went through it in the press conference. He pretty much gave you every hint that you can want. You know, he wants a defensive-oriented coach that can handle being the ambassador of a university, and so that word right there, ambassador, automatically eliminated some folks. Some guys that I would be my number one pick, like Will Wade. You know, everybody knows Will Wade is going to be really good. You know, but unfortunately, Red is limited on the guys like that he can hire, like Will. You know, and I don't know how possible it was. I know they did have talks. That's come out that there's, you know, all these guys have spoken. You know, so, but you know, at the end of the day, let's let Red at least hire the guy and see how he does first before you criticize the hire, because we have no way of knowing. You know, I think the guys that are on this thumbnail, the three that are on this thumbnail, plus a couple others, all could potentially be really good. Darian DeVries is really starting to sound like, listen, Michigan is going to hire him if they don't get their top guy. You know, Iowa would be the number one candidate for that job. Believe that. So outside of like the big time hires that everybody looks at, like Jay Wright and stuff like that. So we have guys that are available for us right now that are really, really good possible hires, I believe.
I agree too. Totally agree. Got a super chat come in from David Cummings. David, we appreciate you, my man. He says, can we please just move on? Hugs isn't coming back. This is getting very tiring. It is, David. And
I wasn't even segue.
Yeah, it is a good segue. I wasn't even going to bring this up tonight, but I feel like we kind of have to. And somebody's already mentioned it. You know, somebody already mentioned it in the chat just a few minutes in. Huggins was on a radio station in Pittsburgh. I'm going to do another screen share here. Another article I did says Bob Huggins speaks on future and if he wants to coach again. By the way, guys, if you go to my website, you scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, you can sign up to get email notifications every morning for anything new that might pop up on my site. It's totally free to do that. But anyway, it says basically, I'm not going to read you the article, but I'll read you Huggs' quotes. He was asked if he wants to coach again, and he said, "Yeah, I would. I love working with young people. I was probably a freshman in high school, and I was coaching other kids at camp with my dad. I love to coach, and I love to help people." Then the interviewer asked him if he would be willing to take a job at another school, and he said, "I don't really want to leave West Virginia, but I don't think I have much of a choice. I love West Virginia and the people of West Virginia. I was born and raised here." But he did acknowledge that he would take a job somewhere else if the right opportunity presented itself and it was the right situation. So Huggins does want to coach again. He confirmed that, and he confirmed that he would rather do it at West Virginia. And then probably the most, I guess, controversial comment was when asked if he would ever again be given a chance to coach at West Virginia. He said, "If there's a change in leadership, yeah." So basically he admitted that if somebody else was running the university besides Gordon Gee, at least that's how I interpreted it, then he would probably get a shot.
Right.
What is that? How you interpreted that comment, Paul?
That's it. Yeah.
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 So I wanted to bring that up. We're not going to spend a lot of time talking about that because it's, again, we're kind of beating this Huggins thing's kind of getting beaten to death. Personally, and I think Krista Sasson that said it best earlier in the chat. Let me go find it. Let's see. I hope Huggins can get another job of some kind because he needs to step back from the program. I think Huggins getting a job somewhere else would be best for everybody, be best for him, be best for the school, the program, the new coach, whoever that ends up being, because they won't have that, that cloud lingering over their shoulder or over their tenure there. So I think that's a great comment. By the way, guys, if you want to make sure, I've read a couple comments that weren't highlighted, but if you want to make sure your comment gets read and gets highlighted, drop a super chat, hit the $sign in the comment box, make a small donation to the channel, leave your comment. It'll highlight it for us. We'll read it. And it's a good way also to support our work here on the show and help us keep bringing you guys quality content. Somebody mentioned Scott Drew's brother, Bryce Drew. He's a name that kind of has popped up in the coaching search late.
Yeah.
Paul, what are your thoughts on Bryce Drew? He's now the coach at Grand Canyon University.
I mean, listen, people can learn from their mistakes. I know that. I don't know what went wrong at Vanderbilt for him, but he signed 2 5-star guys and a 4-star guy while at Vanderbilt. 2 of them ended up being lottery picks. And they lost 18 games in a row with those players at Vanderbilt. So, to me, that disqualifies him for me unless it's an emergency. He's winning at Grand Canyon, but it's tough, man, because you can never know, situationally, maybe it was something at Vanderbilt that we don't know about. Maybe he really is a good coach, but at the end of the day, the way I've read this and been told is that things are really going to have to go wrong for that to be the hire. He's by no way probably going to be the favorite here. Yeah. But he is a name.
Yeah. Yeah. His name did pop up kind of late, like I said, in the process on the last hot board that 24/7 put out. He showed up on it. He actually went 0-18 in the SEC one year at Vanderbilt, and that was with that highly touted recruiting class. So, not sure, like Paul said, not sure what happened there. Vanderbilt is a tough place to win at. I don't doubt that. And he did get them in the NCAA tournament in his first season there, which is not easy to do at Vanderbilt. But then for whatever reason, It fell, it went off the rails there. But again, what were the circumstances? And that's what Rien's job is. He can dig through the details and get to those, and he'll know what those circumstances were. And is it something that, either the coach has overcome or maybe that was unique to Vanderbilt that made it so hard? We don't know. But he definitely is not – he's not real high on my list, to be honest, because of that Vanderbilt situation. It just scares me a little bit. That's his only job, only Power 5 or Power 4 now job. And, I'm a little concerned that could be a trend,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to think who his brother is, right? Or is it his dad?
What's that now?
Is his dad or his brother?
Which one? They're both coaches.
Drew. Right. Is it his dad or his brother, Scott Drew?
Scott's his brother. His dad was
Right.
Homer Drew, who coached Valparaiso when Bryce made that shot.
Right. So, I just say that to say, I mean, just you don't want somebody to worry about that he's riding Scott Drew's coattails just a little bit.
Yeah.
The mid-major coaches win all the time. I don't know how hard it is to win at Grand Canyon. He's going to get an opportunity, that's for sure. So we're going to know at some point whether he can coach or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can give you a quick scenario before we read the super chat on how he could end up being a possibility. So as of right now, Dusty May, we're basically the domino that needs to fall is Dusty May. That's Red's top choice, believed to be. Louisville, he's like third or fourth on their list. They've thrown the house at Scott Drew. Michigan kind of wants Jerome Tang. It's come out that he's on their high up on their list. So if neither one of those work out, then you look at Dusty May possibly going to Louisville. If Dusty May doesn't go to Michigan, then we have a real shot at him at that point. If he lands at Louisville and then the Michigan doesn't get their top guy, you're talking about DeVries landing at one of those spots. Because Louisville hasn't mentioned DeVries. Oklahoma State and Michigan have. From what I understand, we've got a really good shot to land DeVries. But point is it could work out to where all of our guys, Dusty May can end up at Louisville, DeVries can end up at Michigan. Byington, because we've waited on DeVries, could end up coaching somewhere else. And then here we are. Where do we go? Maybe we have to settle for a guy like Drew or something like that. These are all, so you just, that's why a lot of people think whoever loses between Washington State and Drake might be who we just go after or something like that.
Yeah. I'm like you. I don't think, I guess I'm like you. I think that's kind of what you were alluding to. I don't think we're going to wait around too long because he made a statement the other day that there's more than one guy that can do the job. There's not just one candidate, and he doesn't want to. It's dangerous to hone in on just one guy because then if you lose that guy, then you're done, right? So there's several. There's more than one guy that he thinks can do it, and because of that, I feel like he's probably got 3 or 4 names that he's comfortable with, and I think he'll get at least one of those names more than likely, whether it's Byington or DeVries or whoever, May, whatever. Got a super chat here from Ocho85. Thank you for the super chat. He says,
"Thanks,
great
man.
show, guys. We appreciate the compliment.
That.
Appreciate the super chat, the support. It's a big help, man. We appreciate it."
Well,
Mark,
we got 100.
Huh?
Oh,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Mark Few.
Yes, go ahead.
I was going to mention the tournament, but you were reading a comment about Mark Few.
Yeah, Mark Few makes $1.8 million. I figured he made more than that. That's crazy. And then one person in the chat, Krista, says that she would like to see, or he, I guess, would like to see Mark Few come to Morgantown. Mark Few's in his 60s, if I'm not mistaken, Krista. So I would not be. I mean, obviously he's a great coach. I wouldn't hate it, but I don't know how much longer he's got. And he's obviously happy at Gonzaga. If he's making $1.8 million and he's been there that long, he has no intentions of leaving. I don't think so.
I didn't see proof of that. I'd just be shocked if he was making only $1.8 million.
Yeah.
Not saying you're a liar. That is shocking. Like that, I would have lost a lot of. But you could have told me. There was never no way I'd have ever believed he was only making 1.8. That's what Josh Allen made this year almost.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's in his 60s. I read that somewhere.
Right.
Well, it came up in the conversation. It came up in the conversation when the Big 12 was looking to add Gonzaga for basketball, and people were talking about, well, Mark Few's in his 60s. When he retires, their program might go on the tank. So a lot of people were using that as an argument as to why it may not be a smart move to add him because they were not good before he got there, or at least they weren't on. Not as good as he took them to the level they're at. I mean, they were a competitive team, but not at the level they're at now where they were making national championship games. and they may not get back there once he leaves. And, so it'd be a big risk for the Big 12. And they were using his age as an example. That's where I remember hearing that from. But go ahead and say what you were going to say.
Oh, I was just saying because now that we got almost 130 in here, maybe it'd be a good time to mention our bracketology.
Absolutely. I totally forgot about it.
Just trying to explain how it's going to work and everything. We've already got close to 10 people, I think, if you count everybody we talked about before the show. So, So basically, guys, we're doing a bracketology. It's going to be on ESPN. Sorry, I'm here with my nephew and niece. If you hear them clapping and yelling up there, y'all. But it's going to be through ESPN. You'll be able to follow everybody's progress basically at the same time. You'll know where you stack up. It's a relatively small buy-in for it, and then there'll be a pot at the end for somebody to win. $10 buy-in, but there'll be a pot for somebody to win. Couz and I will not be involved in that. That obviously that would be fishy. So there will be, so what do you guys? We'll be able to win that thing. I know Jordan, I don't know if he's still in here or not. Jordan said he was going to play from Country Roads Webcast. But I know a few of you guys the other day said you would be interested in that. So the way that would work is figure out a way to DM Couz or me. But how did we do it last time? Do you remember?
I mean, it's a $10 buy-in, and I don't remember if we gave out one prize to one person or if we paid out multiple people, to be honest with you, Paul. I can't remember.
Well, what I'm talking about is just the contact. How are they going to contact us or contact them? How are we going to give them the ESPN thing they need to sign into?
Yeah, you shoot me. Yeah, well, if you send me the money through PayPal or Venmo, there's a way to reply with a message. And Cash App may even have that too. I'm not sure.
That's right.
I can give you the code there, or I can do it through social media, through a DM on Twitter or Facebook, or even through email. Either way, just whichever platform you use to send the money, make sure I have your, a way to get in touch with you. And also, if you fill out your bracket, make sure you put your name in so we know who you are. The name that you put in on the bracket needs to match the name you used to pay, because if you win, we have to know who to give the money to.
Right.
But yeah, we'd love to have you guys participate. Obviously, there'll be, the tournament starts here in at noon tomorrow, I believe. So we don't have
a lot of time.
Yeah,
and we understand that we waited a little bit too long to jump on this. So if we don't get enough people, we won't do it. But we're here. We're going to give it a shot. So let us know down in the comments below real quick. Is anybody in here does anybody want to do it? I'd like to personally know, just so we can know whether to move on and talk about something else or not.
Yeah. I did get the DM from you, Daniel, and his salary is $1.8 million according to this Sportskeeda article here.
Wow. That's wild.
That's loyalty right there.
Yeah.
Again, they're a private school, so this is not public, but I guess somebody leaked it or whatever.
Oh. Shaggy said he already joined.
He did. Shaggy did it, and I've had one or two others join so far, along with the people you told me about.
Yeah.
There is no link, Sasquatch. Well, I guess I could leave one, but you got to have a code, and I don't give you the code until you send the money. That's that way I can keep up with who's paid and who hadn't paid. You got to have it's basically you just go to ESPN.com, go to the fantasy games part, look for the bracket challenge, look for Hoops from the Hills group. That's where it is, and then you have to have a code to sign in and do your bracket. I'll give you that code once you send me the money.
And you can super chat it if you want to, Sasquatch. It really doesn't matter, because we'll just replace it. I guess. I don't know. I guess I'm just. However.
I mean, we could do it that way. That's actually not a bad way to do it, Paul.
Right. I mean, because we have the money anyways. Right.
Yeah. So just you can drop a $10 super chat if you want to. Speaking of which, we got one to read. Sasquatch 304. If you want to use this as your entry, says we haven't known him for a long, but I trust Ren to make a solid hire. I think he has done as good as could be expected given the situation he came into.
Yeah, agreed.
If you want that to be your entry, DM me or email me, whatever. If you have my email, I'll put my email address in the.
Oh, that's a good point. He said YouTube takes a cut.
They do. That's why I wasn't going to do it that way, but you've already let the cat out of the bag now. So.
Well, but you doubled down on it.
I know.
You said it was a good idea.
It was, but let's just do it through. PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App.
Okay.
That way it'll be a full because it'll be even hard to know what the pot is by doing it through this way because you don't know what YouTube's cut is until they pay you. They don't calculate it off the top.
We made it difficult, haven't we?
Yes. It's okay.
Maybe I did.
Discord. Yes, Sasquatch that'll work too. He's got my Discord. You can do it that way. Great idea.
Okay.
But yeah,
there we go.
Couz's Corner on Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. Simple.
Yeah, and then you could just talk with him through Messenger on there, and there we go.
Or do.
Sorry,
again,
guys.
Most
Didn't
of you
take this much of the show.
Most of you have us on social media too. You can DM us through there. No biggie. It worked last year, so we'll do it again.
Yeah. Yep.
And I guess we're just going to pay out one cash prize to the winner because it doesn't look like we're going to have a whole lot of people in it. So it would make more sense just to do one cash prize.
Yeah.
But
it's all gravy.
But appreciate everybody for sorry we're so late to the party. We've had a lot going on and haven't been able to get on here and do a show. So
yep.
Anyway, anything else on the coaching front, Paul, that we need to talk about that we've missed?
Well, I think if I had to give it a top three, it would be, as far as if I had to guess, and I don't have really any inside knowledge besides what I've read, I do believe currently it's DeVries is in the lead, followed by Byington. Obviously Dusty May is the number one pick, but it would be DeVries, not DeVries, then Byington after that. If I'm reading the tea leaves right.
Yeah.
So, and then I think probably Medved after that, but unless I'm missing somebody.
Yeah, Medved. We've had a couple comments about Medved.
Smith.
Oh yeah, Kyle Smith from Washington State. I would like the fact he's got Power 5 experience. I think that goes a long way to me. Yeah. And he's one of the places that's hard to win at with Washington State. If he can win at Washington State, he should be able to win at West Virginia. Of course, now the Big 12's, I would say, a tougher conference, but he also has more resources at West Virginia. So,
yeah.
But a lot of people have mentioned Medved. A lot of people seem to be higher on Medved now that he had that big win last night. I don't want to take one game and make that a trend or get too hyped up over one game. I still put the other guys ahead of him on my list personally.
It was the one game combined with the fact of I didn't know who his starters were really. I didn't know where he dug to get those guys. Ocho85 just hit 10 on Cash App, Couz.
Thank you. Shannon, I don't have your info on that on the membership or the subscription or whatever. All I have is your name. It doesn't give me anything. YouTube is the one that has all that. So unfortunately, I can't use that as a that comes directly from YouTube. I think that's what I'm not sure if I'm understanding your question, to be honest. You want me to pull your info from there or the money from there?
He said, okay, gotcha.
I hope I answered your question. I don't know if I did or not. I really didn't fully understand it, I don't think. But anyway.
But back to Medved really quick. It's anytime a guy goes down against D2 players, and they end up looking as good as Scott did last night, man, that's a find. And you got to have coaches in this day and age in the portal when West Virginia is not always going to have top resources, y'all. We've been hearing this. This donor support system is not sustainable the way it is. It's just not. I don't care if it's Ken Kendrick and whatever his last name is. Anyway, I don't care who it is. So donors eventually are going to get tired of giving money away. I mean, maybe they get these kids to work for them in some capacity as in return, but it's just I've done a lot of research on it, and that seems to be a prevailing theory that this isn't a sustainable model for long. That's why they're asking for money from us, to fill up that over the course of several months. But long story short, you're going to need a coach that can identify D2 guys, mid-major guys that can really play. And he has like 2 or 3 on his roster that play a lot at Colorado to start that are not just good big men. They would start for us big men. Like they dominated the guys at Virginia last night in the post. And, one thing about Virginia is they could play defense. So it's like they have bubs playing down there. That really impressed me.
Yeah. Yep. Shannon saw he's talking about the money. Shannon, I it's hard to do that because the Couz's Corner and Couz from the Hills are 2 separate channels. This is something that Paul and I split 50-50. Couz's Corner is mine. So, and plus, if I do that for you, I would have to do it for everybody, and then I have no money to pay Paul and to pay out the pot. Does that make sense? I hope I explained it okay. And I'm sorry I can't do it that way, but I just don't know how I would track it, and I don't know if it would work. If I was doing it on my channel, I would just do it for members only and be done with it. But we don't have membership set up on this channel yet, so it's hard to do that.
Oh, I see what he's saying now.
He's a paid member over there on my channel, and he was wanting to know if I could just use that as his entry. Because he has been a member for a long time. But I wish I could, Shannon, but there's no way to split the money and make it make sense. But I do. It's a good question. Usually if I do contests over there, I don't, for my members, I normally just, I don't make you pay extra. I just use it as a, he says, Jacob says you can just live on ramen.
Well, I don't know why he said pay Paul. I think he meant the pot, but yeah, You're right. I could live on ramen. Oh, you're talking about the YouTube money that we get like from the ad revenue?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't want them to think that you were paying me out. I
didn't explain it real well, but anyway, it is what it is.
Jordan sending money on Cash App.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate the participation.
Also, guys, Jordan Cruz does a couple different things. Actually, he's been working on a pop culture type show that he does. It's really good. He talks about movies and stuff like that. I highly suggest checking it out. Can you put that down in the comments, Jordan? Can't remember the name of that one. And then obviously, he does the Country Roads webcast, which is a great football show. He talks about basketball too. So check him out, guys. Shannon said he'll catch up.
Okay, somebody sent me $10. I don't know who. That's not in the chat room, so I don't know who it was.
You have to message him.
Jordan, I got Jordan's, and I got Ocho's.
JC's pop culture.
I assume it was Ocho's because it. But yeah, we appreciate everybody's. Like I said, we're doing this as late as we're doing this. It won't be a huge pop, but it'll be something.
Yep.
Yeah, I got it, Ocho. Appreciate it, man. I wasn't going to say your name out loud because I didn't know if you wanted it out there. Some people don't. That's why they use different fake names on here. So I try to respect that. I don't really have a whole lot else to talk about. Paul, do you have anything else to talk about?
No, just make sure you send your name with it, guys. If you Cash App him, just make sure you send your name or some name, so we'll know how to keep track of it, and he'll send you back the bracketology code.
Yep. And then when you fill out your bracket, use the same name so that we know who that is.
Yes.
All right. Well, listen, we appreciate everybody jumping on here. We had over 100 people in the chat, in the conversation. This channel's growing leaps and bounds. We appreciate everybody's support. We're going to continue bringing you guys content throughout this coaching search process. Hopefully, we'll both be around when they make the announcement so we can jump on and do a live stream reaction. But we'll obviously do that as soon as we possibly can.
Target date is next Tuesday or Wednesday, for what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's again, it's going to depend on who it is and how well they do in the tournament, right?
Yeah,
so
but
if it goes
who
past,
these guys are playing,
if it goes past that date, then we'll know it's somebody still playing. I mean, it's
right.
It's kind of obvious.
It'll be
know what I mean?
Process of elimination as we go.
Yeah. So anyway, well, listen. Thanks again, everybody, for the support. Thanks for jumping on here. Don't be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, whether you're watching live or watching on the replay. We couldn't do this without you, obviously, and we're done.
Good night, guys.